Alright, so it's time to talk about the Fairy Tail Zero chapter. Obviously, this one was a quote unquote an emotional parting. Personally, I didn't really feel that bad about it. I didn't really feel that upset about it either. But I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. Um, I mean, it did in fact end up being one of the things that I said last time about it being uh, she subconsciously created her as an illusion, which is one of the things I think I might have said that was the one I supported the most. I can't remember uh, off the top of my head, but I do know that that was one of the prominent possibilities I said back in the last episode of Fairy Tail Zero, but review. But yeah, it's subconscious, which makes sense. It also does make sense that she can do something like that. The reason I said it made sense was because if she's projecting herself from inside Lumen Histoire, it could be completely subconscious because it looks like she's asleep. Uh, so in that case, there's no reason to think she can't subconsciously or unconsciously uh, do an illusion. Um, so it makes sense within the context of what's happening in the main story. Um, so yeah, Zera's gone. Though it was interesting how uh, like she was able to create the illusion again subconsciously, but once she acknowledged the illusion was real, she was actually like the illusion was actually affecting everybody else instead, um, and so they were able to see Zera just for once. Um, so I mean, it was funny because he just like instantly knows it's Zera the second he sees her. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, um, but then they hear like what's his name, Warad and Precht. They can hear the not War. That wasn't Warad, is it? I think it is. I don't know, but the two of them can hear Zera's voice apparently and know it's Zera. I don't know how that is, but whatever. I'll take it. So, I mean, it seems like there's almost like a thing between Yuri and Mavis, but they can't do anything, man. It's just too weird now. She won't age. Um, of course, I'm just messing, but regardless, that's it. Honestly, there's not much to talk about. I thought it was fine. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing either. I would say it was decent to good. That's what I want to say. This chapter was decent to good. The plot twist itself wasn't that surprising because a lot of people were saying that in the beginning. It made sense. I was kind of um, on the fence about whether or not I believed it, but yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Fairy Tale Zero, or sorry, this month's Fairy Tale Chapter Zero chapter review. Now it's chapter 12. It's very simple, mainly because it's as usual, just as Fairy Tale Zero has been. It has a weekly chapters pacing, but it's a monthly manga. Now it's fairly simple. It's basically at the end of last chapter, we found out that, it was officially revealed that yes, Zera is just an illusion. And in this one, we get a little more detail as to how is it possible this happened. Well, it was once again confirmed that yes, Zera died on that day many years ago, and that this was such a traumatic and traumatizing event for Mavis that she unknowingly awakened her magical powers of illusions and created unconsciously a Zera illusion. And because she didn't realize, did this unknowingly, she was unable to, no one else can see Zera. Because normally when illusionists, with mages that use illusion magic, create illusions, they can see it and everyone else can see it. Now, and this is pretty much, so that was an interesting thing to learn. Now, in this chapter, basically mostly focused on Zera's goodbye and how she's like, it's like, okay, you got to realize that I'm not real. I'm an illusion. I've been dead for many years. It's just, and how that Mavis doesn't want her to believe she's an illusion because since Zera is an illusion that was created unknowingly by Mavis. If Mavis comes to realize that she's an illusion and recognizes her as such, Zera will disappear forever, never to be able to be created by her again. And so that was the main focus was that whole goodbye, and then we see as Zera slowly disappears, just before she disappears, Yuri Dreyer is able to see her, and the other guys, like a trail of, I guess, illusionary dust, goes to where the other guys are, and they can actually hear Sarah saying that, oh, well, this is a sure sign that she's officially been recognized as an illusion and she's disappearing, because because they're temporarily able to see and hear before she disappears. So overall, this chapter was, it was good for what it was trying to do. Like it accomplished, like from an objective standpoint, when you're looking at it from like, okay, you have to wait a month, as I am reading it monthly, and having to wait every month for a new chapter. It's kind of like, really? Like wasted an entire chapter on this, and so it's like it loses some points for that. But as a monthly manga, if you say years down the road when you're reading this as a part of after it's Fairy Tail Zero is over and you just marathon the whole thing, the pacing won't mind so much. So in terms of that, it's like, yeah, it's a good chapter. It serves its purpose. It sets out to do something, and it does it. So in my mind, that makes it a good chapter. But also at the same time, it's like, really, it's a weekly but the pacing has just been atrocious. Like the story and the content within this manga has been off the charts. Like some of the best stuff that Mashima has written, in my opinion, outside of some of certain things he's done within the main series Fairy Tail manga. But it's unfortunate because it's only a monthly, and its pacing is that of a weekly, so it's like we're not getting it soon enough. Like this was the 12th chapter, and if it was a normal monthly manga's pacing, this would have only been we would have gotten all 12 of these first 12 chapters would have been compressed into 6 double-length chapters, which shouldn't be too hard for him to do since he was able to do last month during the Avatar arc in the main series manga. He was able to do an entire month of 2 chapters a week. So it shouldn't be too hard to do this. And the main reason why I want them to, I'm disappointed that this pacing is so slow is because of especially the fact that in the main series manga we're getting closer and closer to finding out more in the main series about the Mavis and Lumen Historia and all this. And it's like, are we going to learn the information about what happens to Mavis in the main series first, or in Fairy Tail Zero first? It's kind of odd, and I hope that it's kind of like he is able to get it together and work it out so that way it happens around the same time, which is difficult because Fairy Tail Zero is a monthly manga and Fairy Tail main series manga is weekly, so it's kind of it advances a lot quicker. So I hope that if in this arc where in the main series is going to reveal any major information about Fairy Tales as a guild's past, I would like for it to be toward the end, because it's shaping up to be a very long arc, and I want it to be so that way the information comes in the main series Fairy Tail manga correlates with the information that comes out in the main Fairy Tail Zero manga. So I know this has been a little. I've been ranting on this, but I'm just, just the pacing just really pisses me off about this manga. The pacing in this manga pisses me off so much. So I hope you all enjoyed this review, and hope to see you, in particular Fairy Tail Zero reviews next month. But hopefully you all will join me for various and Strider for various other reviews over that course of that month.